Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way for a special recorded video. Wanted to give a bit of an update on everything. We're not ending. I know it says channel update. We're not ending. We're not ending. I just want to make that clear. But I've told that enough is enough. And it really is now. Enough is enough. You've noticed we've gone quiet over the weekend. I have been subject to quite a lot of abuse this weekend. It is what it is. And by the way, one thing I want to say, this is not a pity me video. I don't want to do that. It's not about that. So I don't want anyone saying, woe is me or anything like that. This is not about that. This is a message just explaining maybe why I am the way I am, maybe why the channel is the way the channel is. I want to do this without getting emotional. I've been doing this, many of you know this, been doing this for a very, very long time now, for a mancity fan TV with Andy and the gang, all the way up to this, when me and Rob and Ozzy originally sat down and Alan and looked at starting this. Now, obviously, the channel's evolved since then, and we appreciate for the last 2.5 years, it's been an absolute whirlwind, and the channel's gone on from strength to strength, and it will continue to do that. But last season, there was a lot, probably was the closest we've all come to ending the channel and ending our involvement with YouTube. And it wasn't just me. As you know, there's Rich, there's Ozzy, there's Pat, and there's Alan. So yeah, Ozzy, Rich, Pat, Alan, me, all involved in the channel, co-ownership, etc. And I was not the only one who was on the verge of walking away last season. Now, this is not an attack on anyone. This isn't. People know who they are, who've done this, and people know who they are with the way they behave. And this is not even about old versus new, and this is not about standards FC versus no standards FC. It is a little bit. It is a little bit, but I'll explain that as we're going along. I got to the end of Mancity Man TV and I was very burnt out, but it was very different. There was an expectation on everything, but we had fun still. And that's what this channel and this community is all about, is having fun. And last season was the first time ever this was not fun. This was not fun anymore. People involved in the channel have had to walk away. Not just, you all know about Tony's had to walk away completely because of the abuse. I had to involve the police on 2 separate occasions. One of a death threat on me and to meet me at the Etihad and beat me up, and the other one it was death threats to my children. And I had to make 2 incidents with the police over that, because so I found out something I never knew, that the police here in the UK do have a social media team that deal with social media crimes. So that was a bit of an eye-opener to me. Didn't realise that, but they do. And they can track IP addresses and names, because they get in contact with YouTube and they get in contact with X, etc. And they can do IP checks and see where the real person is and the names and whereabouts they're from, UK, non-UK, etc. Which was good to know. A little bit of security there of, something goes too far. Couple of incidences I'll meet you at the Etihad, see me during the spaces, which is not always nice. especially when I do take my family to the games. Because the one thing is, my family have no involvement in this channel. They watch it, which I'll come on to later on, but they don't engage or anything. They're not in the comments. You know, my partner's a moderator, that's it. But she never moderates. She's just there being a moderator. But yeah, so we thought we'll come into this season, new vibe, new everything, change of ethos. We thought, great. It's one defeat at Al Hilal against Al Hilal to unwind it all again. Yeah, crazy. Sorry, I'm just trying to think out the best way to say some things here. One thing I will say is, am I perfect? No. I'm far, far from perfect. And I hold my hands up. I'm not perfect. Do I challenge opinions? Yes. Do I disagree with opinions in a vigorous way? Probably a bit too much. And for that, I apologize. If I've come across as Martin's always got to be correct, because that's not the case. It really isn't. The one thing I will do, though, is I will disagree or agree with people's opinions. What I will vibrantly disagree with is when people say one thing to me privately, come on a show and completely do a complete 180. That I don't like, because then I don't know what's the truth, what your real thoughts are. You know, I speak to a lot of people privately. We are all friends off air. So a lot of people I speak to, and I've met some brilliant people in this community doing this in the night, you know, well, 2.5, 4 years, 6.5 years, roughly. I'm doing this. Some amazing people. People I speak to via email, some people I speak to on the phone, some people via WhatsApp, some people I meet for drinks. So I like to think I'm probably a good judge of character. This channel has been labelled as gatekeeping and racist and xenophobic. They're not watching the channel then, because we called it the Mancunian way to be a very open Mancunian way of embracing all cultures, all races, all genders, everyone, all backgrounds. As long as it's, you know, it's not criminal or illegal, we invite everybody on, old, new, local, far around the world. We do the fan calling shows, and very rarely is anyone from Manchester, and that's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I've met some amazing people in spaces from around the world. We do Blues Down Under. We're going to start a US show. We do watch-alongs with panels now. Expats in Australia, expats in the US, all over the world. Yeah, so yeah, that's one thing we're not. We do embrace everything. But after Al Hilal, it all kicked off again. And because I am 42, and Rich is of an older generation, and Patty's and Alan is, we're all old, apart from Ozzy. He is the baby of the group. We are all main road wankers, as people call it. We are. We were there when we were crap. And one defeat to us is not going to blow our minds, because, like I said, some of the things we've seen is unbelievable. We went nearly 12 months not at Main Road, at the Etihad, when it was used to be called the City of Manchester Stadium in the 2000s. Under Stuart Pearce, we didn't score a goal for nearly 12 months. We had Bernardo Carradi and Andy Cole and Darius Vassell up front. We didn't score goals. That's crap. You know, go back even further for me and Rich and Alan. We were York away. We were people who were at York away, getting beat by Oxford, getting beat by bloody Blackpool, etc. Come on. That's why we're a little different, and we're probably a little bit more seasoned, like many people in the comments as well. I mean that with the utmost respect. So that's why we don't have a meltdown, and we don't throw chairs out of windows, and we don't throw things around and smash our things against desks, etc. I always thought we were a well-balanced fan base, a well-matured fan base. Win, lose, or draw, City till we die. Yeah. You know, I remember going to the protest last season at the Etihad with 1894. Some agreed, some didn't. For and we were fighting for fans local and abroad. So was 1894 Trade Union Blues. City Matters. It was fighting for blues across the world, old and new. We didn't think it was right that somebody from Australia and America and India and wherever had to pay an arm and a leg to come over to see our football club. And you get it thrown back in your face. F off, get out the club. Your old news. What do you think you're doing? And people go, it's a small minority. The trouble is the small minority are the loudest and the nastiest. The more mature people don't always do social media. That's the problem. It is more the louder generation that do social media. Yeah, tough one. But enough's enough. We're not in this game for abuse. And I've seen it now, not just on here, but I've seen myself and Pat and Rich and Alan going to other channels, and because they're associated with this channel and me, they get attacked. Not good. Not good. We're not about that life. And here's the thing is, yes, I understand we've changed, but I saw it today when Arsenal bought Gyökeres, they've agreed the deal. And some City fans are like, well, why aren't we buying? We just spent God knows how much. We spent God knows how much in January. We can't go keep spending 300 million every 6 months because other teams are doing it. That's not the way football's run. It's not. And I did say something, and this isn't me being right before anyone shoots me. Said, I bet any money because we've done our deals early. Some people will be upset when other deals get announced because they've already opened their Christmas presents. So yeah, difficult one. The other thing is, I promise you, I'm going to calm down on the telling you information. I'm just going to keep it private or towards Windows now, because people just chuck it back in my face. I've been attacked for it. I've been called a BS merchant, etc. And I don't want to be an ITK. Never wanted to be an ITK. I just wanted to share info. That's why nothing goes on Twitter. That's why nothing goes on Instagram. We don't do that. I share it on shows because I get information. But then I get attacked for it. So, nah, not doing that game anymore. That's not fair. That's not fair because, I don't work for the club. To what people believe, I don't work for the club. I'm just a very passionate Manchester City fan who loves and bleeds blue and loves Manchester City Football Club. And when I say I would watch us on a backfield in Division 16, so what? I used to travel the length and breadth of this country with my dad and my brother and my nephews to the back of beyond, Bristol Rovers, Walsall. You think I did that for the fun? Did that out of love. We never win at home, we never win away was brought out as a piss take to ourselves. It was about having a laugh with your mates and your family and having a bevy, whether it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic, whether you're old enough or you did drink or didn't drink. It's about having a laugh with a smile on your face. And yeah, I get Sheikh Mansour's taken over. And yes, Sheikh Mansour and Pep Guardiola and Elder Board will have higher standards and high expectations, and they very much should do. They should do. But the one thing I will say, and it's the thing that people need to realise, you're not a Manchester City fan because of that. You're a Manchester City fan because of what's in there and what that badge means to you. City till we die is not a fancy gimmick. It's something that's for life. Win, lose, or draw. People say to me, "What do you mean by the thing?" No, nobody boos in the stadium. We're not there with pitchforks and torches. The only time we do that is when the fans think we're getting screwed over with the ticket prices. We're not booing players off the pitch. We're not saying sack Pep after one defeat. 1 in 13 last season, we weren't saying sack Pep. There was no booing. I was at Southampton away. We applauded them off. We sang, Guardiola. We've got Guardiola 0-0 at Southampton, and we still sang his name. That's what being a fan is about. Whether you're watching on the TV or you're watching at home or you're going to the game at 4 in the morning and you're getting back at 4 in the morning. Yeah, it's emotional and we have a whinge for an hour or two afterwards, 1000%. But this nastiness to players, the sack Pep. If I want to be like PSG, I want to be like Real Madrid. We're Manchester City. We're proud of that. We're the most dominant force in the last 15 years. One bad season. Yes, we can constructively criticize Pep. We can constructively criticize the players. But saying they're shit, saying get out of my club, off, abuse is the only thing. So that as well. Abuse got Kyle Walker out. It'll get the others out. No, it won't. You're wasting energy. And I have a saying, we can debate on channels 1000%. We can say, no, I think we need a right back. I think we need but bitching and moaning on shows or social media ain't gonna make a blind bit of difference on whether a player comes or goes. There are far bigger things in life to worry about than whether City buy a right back or a centre back, or whether Ruben Diaz is good enough, or a Kanji or Kushinoff or whoever, or P. Diddley Squinder is good enough. So yeah, it's crazy. I do this for love. I do this also as a distraction. Many of you know my mum and dad have got Alzheimer's. My dad has not got long left. I have a sister with severe Down syndrome. I'm a full-time carer and a full-time content creator now. This is meant to be fun. This is my distraction from real problems, real anxiety. And last season, I was getting anxiety attacks. Anxiety attacks. I've never had that coming on YouTube before. I stopped going on shows because it wasn't just one comment, everyone. Well, the majority and it was nasty. And I have some very good friends who said to me, Martin, YouTube ain't for you. Stop. I will not name them but they've told me to stop. And I've gone, no. But I'm not doing this again this season. I won't do that. I'm not putting. My children have cried because they do listen. They do see comments. They don't get involved in the channel, as I said, but they do watch. And I'm not having my daughter and my young lad cry because of the comments being said about their father or their father's friends. But all I'm trying to do is give you good, wholesome entertainment. We have a laugh. You know, I don't stay up till 4 a.m. doing spaces while I'm looking after my dad for the fun of it. I'm doing it to entertain people and give everyone a voice. There is no leader in the fan base. No one's a leader. We all have our lane and we all get on. But just think about when you're typing stuff, if you don't agree with me or you don't agree with Ozza or you don't agree with Rich, just say I don't agree and move on. Or if we're not your channel, don't watch. We're not trying to be the biggest. We're trying to be the best, most welcoming and best community out there, not just in the City fan base, in the whole of YouTube. We're trying to be the best community, the most welcoming. And that's what we want to be. But we've become one of the most destructive fan bases out there at the minute. And it saddens me. 42 years, I've never seen it this way. It's crazy. And yes, players do get stick, but it's like we go from a Kanja, then it's Diaz's fault, then it's Edison's fault. Last season, Foden was finished and he was never coming back. Then it's Cherky doesn't like Foden. Foden doesn't like Cherky. It's like, I don't know where we're going. Who's next? Oh, then it's Gundo. Then it's Bernardo. Then I'm running out. We're running out of players to criticize here, people. Then it's Doku. Then it's Savio. Football comes in cycles. Some years we're going to win. Some years we're not going to win. And it's about the journey. Big Steve has mentioned this 1,000 times. Nobody's been on our journey. No one's been from the depths of hell to the heights of the treble. No one's ever done that. No one's ever done that. And that's why it's treasured. And like I said, if I've offended anyone or I've come across as dismissive of your opinion, I apologize. That is something I need to work on myself. And I will work on it starting the next show. But I am allowed to disagree. But let's disagree. Let's talk about a player analytically. Constructive criticism is defined in the dictionary as giving criticism in a way to solve or improve their deficiencies, not get them out of the football club. Fans have no power to sell or buy anybody. We can debate, yes. We have no power to sell or buy. It's not a computer game. This is not Champ Manager or FIFA. I wish it was. You know, would I like a right back? Damn well I'd love a right back. Do I think we need a right back? 1,000%. But you know what we don't need? Abusing each other. Damn good human decency is what is required. Treating people like human beings, not animals. And I'm not even trying to dictate or tell people how to behave. But the one thing I will say in this channel and this community for moving forward, if you come in and you are being abusive and having a laugh on the occasional shows, fine. Oh, man, you're a dick. Fine. You know, I get it. I know when there's a laugh. But when you come in continuously, dig, of the dig, of the dig, of the dig, of the dig, then I know you've got an agenda. And, you know, I saw it the other day with Pat. calling him a moron. That's thick, stupid. Martin, immature. That's just being nasty. That's not anything to do with football. That's just you venting your nastiness out to other people. And I get it. That's why people have said YouTube's not for you. I get it. Keyboard warriors and all that. But the thing is, we have a block button. We have mods. We can stop that. Spreading lies about people across social media. Remember, there are families, wives. You don't know what someone's going through. I've got enough crap in my life. Pat has enough stuff in his life. Pat at the minute. Ozzy has enough stuff. Rich does. Alan does. Alan may be, a boring old git sometimes, but he's your boring old git. And Alan's been a very close personal friend of mine for 6 years now. From mancity on TV. So yes, we will argue like cat and dog. It's what mates do. We speak at 3 and 4 in the morning privately. All the mods on the channel I speak to outside of the channel privately. I class them as good friends. And I've met some amazing people. And they know who they are. And I can't thank people enough. I know 99% are amazing in this community. But the 1%, the trouble is they're being so loud, they're ruining it. Let's do better. Let's do better. But yeah, that's just I needed to say it. I needed to get it off my chest because last year was, like I said, I was having anxiety attacks. I was not good last year. I was ill. I'm not doing that again. Not over football. From getting ill over the worry of my parents and my sister, yes, not football. I won't do that. But this is my job now. It's full-time care in this. So no one's going to drive me away, drive Ozzy away, drive Pat away, drive Rich away, drive Alan away, drive anyone away. We're here to entertain and have fun and have our opinions. So again, I apologize if I have caused any offense or come across as not allowing opinions. I can disagree as well. My opinions are allowed as well. Just because you don't agree with it doesn't mean it's still not my opinion, and I am entitled to it. But yeah, big plans coming up on this channel. New shows starting from August. There will be a fan calling show on Monday evening coming up. There will be a Thursday night chat. There will be shows coming up. From the 16th, 17th, we will be closing down for about 2 weeks. Well, we'll be closing down from the 16th, 17th of July until about the 1st or 2nd of August because we're all going away on holiday. Rich and Pat are having a well-deserved break right now. Pat's on his way over to the UK, so safe travels for Pat. Soon, well, believe me, he'll be on tomorrow night, but then he's away. But yeah, let's do better. The one thing Manchester City are good at is #together. And there's no force in the world of football that is more powerful than Manchester City fans being together. Adversity, we laugh in the face of adversity. Let's stop fighting with each other and let's get back to fighting the rest of everyone else and showing them why we're the best. But win, lose, or draw, City till we die is forever. Not a passing fancy. And just because someone's standards may be different to yours doesn't make them a loser. And just because someone's standards are higher than yours doesn't make them a glory fan. Works both ways. I've learned that. And that's the way we're going to be moving forward. All opinions, man. But anyway, we'll see you Monday night. Take care. As always, up the blues. Take care, all. And we'll see you. Yeah. Monday night and Thursday. See you till we die.